There are places in this world where the past refuses to rest. Places where history lingers, not in books or photographs, but in the very walls, the air, and the shadows that creep through the night. I learned this firsthand when I visited one of the most haunted locations in the world, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. What I experienced there still haunts me to this day. It started as a simple ghost hunting trip. I had always been fascinated by the paranormal, and Waverly Hills was infamous for its hauntings. Stories of ghostly figures, disembodied voices, and eerie apparitions have been circulating for decades. So armed with a camera, an audio recorder, and a few close friends, I set out to uncover the truth. We arrived just before dusk. The massive, decaying structure loomed ahead, its windows hollow and dark, like soulless eyes watching our every move. The air was thick with something I couldn't quite describe, like a weight pressing down on my chest. As we stepped inside, the temperature dropped noticeably. The musty scent of damp wood and decay filled the air. Our guide led us through the first few floors, recounting stories of former patients, tragic deaths, and the infamous body chute, a tunnel used to discreetly transport the dead. But it wasn't until we reached the 5th floor that things took a terrifying turn. Room 502. The room where a nurse had allegedly taken her own life under mysterious circumstances. As soon as we stepped inside, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over me. My skin prickled with an unnatural chill, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Then we heard it, a faint whisper. At first, we thought it was the wind, but then it came again, clearer this time, a woman's voice. We froze, straining our ears to make sense of the words. And then, my friend gasped. He pointed toward the far corner of the room. There, standing in the shadows, was a figure, a dark, hazy silhouette of a woman. She didn't move. She didn't speak, but the air around us grew heavier. I reached for my camera, my hands trembling, and just as I clicked the shutter, the figure vanished. We bolted from the room, our hearts racing. Reviewing the footage later, we found something chilling. The moment before the shadow disappeared, the camera had captured something unmistakable, a pair of glowing eyes staring directly at us. Shaken, we decided to continue our exploration. The deeper we went into the sanatorium, the stronger the sense of being watched became. We entered a long corridor on the 3rd floor, where others had reported seeing shadow figures darting between doorways. I turned on my audio recorder and asked, "Is anyone here with us?" A voice, faint but distinct, whispered back, "Leave now." My blood ran cold. My friend swore he saw a figure at the end of the hall, peering around the corner. We gathered our courage and walked toward it. As we reached the spot, the temperature plummeted. My breath became visible in the dim light. Then, something unseen rushed past us, sending an icy chill through my entire body. The hallway fell silent, but the tension in the air was suffocating. We decided to head toward the notorious body chute. The tunnel stretched deep underground, used during the tuberculosis outbreak to discreetly remove deceased patients. The moment we stepped inside, the darkness felt oppressive, swallowing all light and sound. The air was thick with an overwhelming feeling of despair. Then, we heard crying. It echoed through the tunnel, soft at first, then growing louder. We turned on our flashlight, but there was nothing there. Just an empty, decaying passageway leading deeper into the earth. A loud crash behind us sent us running for the exit. As we scrambled up the incline, I felt something grab my ankle. I twisted around, shining my flashlight. Nothing. But the feeling of cold fingers lingering on my skin told me otherwise. We didn't stop until we reached the entrance of the sanatorium, gasping for breath. Looking back at the building, I swore I saw a figure standing in one of the top windows, watching us. To this day, I can't explain what we encountered. The voices, the apparitions, the oppressive force in that tunnel. They say spirits are bound to places where their suffering was greatest. Waverly Hills is one such place. And for those who dare enter, some may never truly leave. If you ever find yourself in Waverly Hills, be careful where you step. You might not be alone.